Good morning, hello, and welcome to yet another episode of Stone Lapis Lazuli. Hello, good morning, hi, it is I. Yes, I made it. It's amazing. I don't know how I do it. I don't know, I was struggling this time. Yeah, I don't know. um, it was a bit more difficult. I've been working a little bit on trying to make a house or something, something to come into rather than just like open nothing. I was gonna keep the room separate from the rest of the house. I was all like, hey, I should make this to scale. But the thing is there's no such thing as like meter thick walls in a house. Like inside of the house, there's no meter thick walls. So like it doesn't really work quite as well. I can't quite make the dimensions exactly the same. Uh, because yeah, there's no meter thick walls. Uh, but that's okay. Let me go sleep. Uh, yeah. So hey, good morning. What a messed up week. Like, yeah, what a messed up week. It seems like it's deja vu. I keep repeating myself. All I had to do was do a search for guns, and I already have a gun folder from like years ago that I started making to collect just a bunch of stupid random gun information things. And like I said before, it doesn't seem to matter like how much information a person has if they don't have the context. If they don't have the context, then the information is meaningless to them. It doesn't mean anything. It's just noise at that point. And then they tune it out. So yeah, I like literally I have like all this stuff. It's like it's like I have what's it called? We know what's going on. We know the problem. Like guns are out of control. We don't have control of guns. So what we need is gun control. Right? It just seems basic. It just seems like basic logic. But for some reason, just the idea, just the discussion thereof creates untold controversy. Like I can't get over how much controversy there was just for saying we should control guns somewhat. Like what is it that creates such venomous opposition to like the most basic of statements that we should control guns somewhat? Like we can't even get past that point. We can't even get past the point of saying to agree as a nation that we should be controlling guns. Like we did it with seatbelts. We did it with motorcycle helmets. We did it with like drunk driving. I don't see the problem here. We did it with smoking. I don't understand. Well, I do understand, right? Because like I start looking at like if, from a superficial standpoint, looking at it from the surface only, just from back here, like as a casual observer, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense at all. Like I'm like scratching my head. And like I can look at the data again. I can go ahead and look at that again. It's not going to be any different. Like this is like from an older story from Vox. Everyone's seen the latest one from the New York Times where it has the United States way out here. Well, this is the same information presented years earlier by Vox. And it shows that the United States has way more guns and consequently way more gun deaths. It doesn't matter really. Like all of these guys have varying types of gun controlled legislation. And what that does is it limits the number of guns out in the population. It just limits it. It just limits the number of guns because the number one thing that causes gun deaths is guns. If you don't have a gun there, you can't die from it. The logic never ever changes. It never changes. It will never change. It will never change. It's never gonna change. You can talk mental illness, you can talk like whatever you want. It will never change. It doesn't matter. You can I don't care if you talk about mental illness. That's not the factor. The factor are the guns. It will never change. It's never gonna change. It's the guns. Get rid of the guns and you will lower deaths. Guaranteed. Just look at the world around you. It doesn't take a genius. Okay, but then and then people come back and they'll say, "Oh, but wait a minute, Pogo Kiddo, wait a minute. Sure, you might be talking about violent crime death, but violent crime death. If you look at the statistics, I don't have them pulled up right now. I think it's something like 66% of deaths by minorities are from violent crimes. So a racist will say, look, I don't want to have to take care of guns because it's only the minorities that are killing themselves with crime. Therefore, as a racist would say, I have no interest in taking care of guns because only minorities are killing themselves in violent crime with weapons. That's what a racist would say. But then I'd be like, all right, you might be right. 66% of gun deaths for white people is due to suicide. You're right. That's right. Okay, fine. But look at the success rate. Look at the success rate. A suicide attempt, people who commit suicide don't really want to die. They don't really want to die. All they want is a way out. They just need a way out. And at that point, they don't see any other way out. And of course, there's always a way out. There's always multiple exits that do not involve death. Of course, always. But when you are in a particular place and your perspective is such that you cannot see them, you begin to despair. And it's not that they're not there. It's that in your particular position, you're unable to see them. And so you believe it. So you need help. You need someone to help you. So a suicide attempt, a lot of times, it's not I want to die. It's I need help super bad and no one's paying attention to me. So you don't you don't want to die if you do a suicide attempt. But if you have access to a firearm, you are way more likely to succeed at killing yourself than not. These people who didn't die went on to get help and feel better and come to say like, wow, I'm glad I didn't die. That was amazing. You talk to all these people who didn't die. You talk to all of them and they'll say, I'm glad I didn't die. I'm real glad I didn't die. You talk to all of them. Talk to them. But with a gun, you don't get that chance. With a gun, you die. You just die. Like 96% of the time, 97% of the time, you're going to die if you use a gun. So your cry for help is not going to go anywhere because you're going to be dead. And it's not really your fault. You just use what's there. And what's there is guns because the United States, guns are everywhere. It's not a mystery. What kind of roof should we get? We don't have very much. Oh yeah, we do. We got plenty of stuff. Let's do another spruce or oak roof. Okay. So the goal here is not to grab the guns. The goal is to not take not to take away your freedom. The goal isn't to to uh to win the culture war against those other people. Like, no, dude, no. You can, NASCAR's great. Formula, like hunting is great. I don't know. What do you guys, all that stuff is great. I don't know about hunting, but all that stuff is great. It's the killing. It's the people dying. That's what I'm trying to stop. That's what I don't want to happen. No. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, how do I get people to stop dying? It's the guns. Everywhere it tells me the same thing. It's the guns. Everywhere says the same things. Rate of firearm homicide deaths, 1981 to 2010. Been going down. So, but I don't think that matters. Let's see, what am I looking at? Fatal suicide attempts, crime. There we go. So, crime, the United States is about in the middle for crime, despite the fact that we have guns everywhere. So, what this is saying is that the presence of guns in the United States doesn't have any effect on crime rate. Look, it has no effect. There's no guns in the UK and Australia and Sweden, Canada. There's no guns there, but they have more crime. And more violent crime too. But I bet you this violent crime doesn't end up with people dead. That's the difference. So guns don't make a difference on crime. That's what I'm saying. The number of guns has no effect on the crime rate. United States is right in the middle. Okay, homicide, suicides. What's this one? Oh, Australia. So this is in Australia. This is from Vox again. Rate of firearm suicides after Australia's gun buyback program. So the number of people who died, that ties into another one. The number of people who died after there were no more guns available or less guns available in Australia plummeted. The goal is to keep people alive, to make people to make sure people don't die. That's the goal. It's not to take away your freedoms. It's to make sure people don't die. Like, I'm sure there's an argument that it takes away your freedom to not wear a seatbelt. But the goal isn't to take away your freedom, it's to make sure people don't die. Yeah, here we go. Homicides by firearm per 1 million. See, that's the difference. Sure, Australia might have way more violent crime, but it's way less. People are not going to die in Australia. You might get beat up, yeah, right? But you're not going to die. In the United States, it's just absurd, right? It's the guns. Nothing's going to change it. You can wave your hands all you want. It's the guns. Restrict the guns. Oh my God. I'm repeating myself. I totally am. Here's another one. It's the guns. So, in 2004, W. Bush did not continue the federal assault weapons ban. After that, we had an explosion in mass shootings. What's the connection? Oh, the availability of guns. You mean there were more guns after the ban expired? And that meant more people dying? Uh-huh. What's this? School shootings. China, Russia, Turkey, Germany, Greece, Estonia, Brazil, France, Canada, Afghanistan, Nigeria, India, South Africa, United. Jeez, what's the difference? Do they not have like fatherless homes in all these countries? Do they not have drugs in all these other countries? Do the kids not play video games in all these other countries? No, they have the same thing over there that they have over here. There's only one difference. There's only one thing that's different than all those other countries. There's only one thing that's different. The number of guns. That's the only difference. I did this already. Like I'm looking at all the pictures of my old show. Gun deaths by state. What's that about? I don't know. Oh, I see. Gun ownership and gun deaths. So the more gun ownership in a state, the more gun deaths per resident. It bears out. Even if you don't look at the world and you only look at the United States, just looking at the United States, those countries where those states where there's more guns, there tends to be more people who die from guns. It's just the way it is. Because the X factor that nobody wants to look at is the guns. Now the question becomes, because all of that comes up over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, it's always the guns. It's always the guns that no one wants to talk about. You got to think, what is it? Why do they not want to talk about the guns? Why would that come up constantly? Why is it the same group that does not want to talk about the guns? Like, I know liberal gun owners, right? Who really love their guns. They, I know leftists who really, 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 really love their guns, and they're great with them. That's fine. That's fine. I, I don't, I don't think you should have it, but those gun owners, those liberal gun owners, and those leftist gun owners, and I bet even those conservative gun owners, would agree that we need a uniform nationwide background check and red flag laws. Basic stuff. We can all agree on this. It doesn't, we don't need to do anything. We just agree on this. I don't understand. Okay, then we got to look. Why haven't we done it? Why doesn't it happen? Why hasn't it happened yet? Well, you got to understand. There's like Washington. There's a group, the power people up in I don't know. There's some confused people out there that are confused about what's going on. Oh, what do I got? Like I was reading some random Facebook post by some woman who believed in the Democrats are eating child babies and selling parts and worshiping demons and shit like that. And they really believed it. I was like, oh man. Why would you believe that nonsense? Why would you? Well, why would she believe that nonsense? But it's nonsense like that that's going to lead to like bad things happening. I'm saying, okay, I don't have it pulled up here because I'm not really ready for it. But I'm thinking it has a lot to do with white supremacy. If you look at the United States, it's only here because of conquest. Genocide, slavery, and conquest. Genocide, slavery, and conquest. That is the United States. How it came to be. The United States stole land, conquered land from the Native Americans, genocided the Native Americans, utilized slavery of Africans to build its and steal their wealth, to create their own wealth. And then it used firearms to conquer the western United States from Mexico. So if you look at it, the United States is like firearms. It is like the distillation of our number one export to the world are firearms. I'm not joking. That's our number one export. Everyone thought it was oil or technology or something. It's firearms. That's our moneymaker. We sell guns. Now, I'm not dissing on our veterans. Right? Today is this is Memorial Day weekend. That would be like ridiculous to be dissing on our veterans. I'm not blaming our veterans for that. What? No, they serve. They don't have any input on what things are being done. So don't read this as a diss on veterans. Please, no. No. In fact, I'm trying to save the lives of veterans because a lot of veterans suffer from PTSD, which leads to suicide. And the way they do that is with a firearm. And when they use a firearm, they're oftentimes very successful. So no, don't look at this as a diss on veterans. Not even, dude. I'm trying to save their lives. Let's go down from here. Down. Oh, up one more? Yeah, let's go up one more. Yeah, up to this point. There we go. And then go down. I mean, I heard the worries of minority populations that gun control measures would be disproportionately levied against them, and it would take away their access to firearms while allowing white supremacists to keep their access to firearms. But if you look right now, that's kind of the deal anyways. Philando Castile had every right to have his gun, and he was still murdered by the state, who got away with it. The state got away with it. Like, sure, on paper, minorities have the right to firearms, but in actuality, de facto, not really. Philando Castile proves that point. Philando, not Philandro. Philando. Lando. What have I done? Like, put a tree thing here. A tree thing. Okay, okay. Hmm. Huh. Oh, okay. Pop out. Pop it. Pop. Okay. It's dark. I am likely to not. There it is. Okay. I need a roof. I'm working on it. Working on it. It's happening. Door. Well, here, I'm safe in here. I'm safe. Not really safe, but it feels that way. Getting there, getting there. Okay, what else we got here? Da 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 da. Yeah, I think it's white supremacy. Listen to here. What we know now as Memorial Day began as Decoration Day in the immediate aftermath of the U.S. Civil War. It was a tradition initiated by former slaves to celebrate emancipation and commemorate those who died for that cause. So it was specifically for the for for Black Americans who fought for the Union, for emancipation, for freedom, for multiracial democracy. Yup. All right, what else? Let's see. Oh, dude, only a half hour? Yeah, because like I'm pretty like tired. I guess I don't know. I've been like in my house for like a year, like years now, years at this point. Like I used to be out there, like out there, and like with COVID and everything, like I work from home. Like I don't know, I just don't even want to leave the house anymore. I just don't. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to leave the house. Otaku. Okay. Well, let's see. What else can I do? Talk about. Like, I should probably be like lifting people up, uplifting people, uplifting. Like, how to, that's pretty tough. Like we, like I keep having to repeat the same things. Like it's like I don't know. It's the same story. It's the guns. You can't get around it. I have other horrible things, but I don't want to show you that because it's a Sunday morning. Like you just got to know that like yeah, there are horrible things out there that are happening right now. And people who fight to defend what we believe in. Truth, justice, and liberty. And they have to suffer greatly for that cause. We should do what we can to support them. What? That's kind of weird. The two different directions. Come down a little bit more, it'll meet. Or not. I don't know. I don't even know what this is anymore. It's an abandoned train station, but I can maybe make it into something. A stable for horses? Of course, this is like a terrible place to ride horses. I would have to make a horse trail like across that way or something. A horse path. And I can't. Yeah, if I farm sheep, I have to watch out for wolves everywhere. So that's gonna be fun. And of course, the creeper farm awaits. I just have to do it. There's so much I have to do. I just feel overwhelmed. But yeah, to go back to the guns, it's the guns. Control the guns. If you can't control the guns, well, okay. In order to control the guns, you have to look at at why you can't control the guns. And it's because white supremacists don't want you to be able to control the guns. And why? Because white supremacy depends upon violence. I mean, if you don't have violence, you can't have white supremacy. So that's why white supremacists work real hard to ensure that the primary tool of violence, the firearm, is always accessible. Never, ever, ever restricted for them. It's already restricted for minorities. They can pretend they have gun rights, but they don't really. Like the whole stand your ground laws are not meant for minorities to protect themselves. It's to give license to white people to murder minorities. Firearms are tools of white supremacy. Maybe in other countries it's a different story, but in the United States, firearms are tools of white supremacy. That's why white supremacists don't want to regulate firearms, because it's their tool. It's how they maintain control. Traditionally, that's how they maintain control. They killed you if you didn't go along with what they said. Traditionally, either through conquest of your land or through enslavement, they would kill you if you didn't go along. They used violence. So, of course, they don't want to take away the thing that gives them so much power. They don't want to give. If you take away the gun, it makes humans way more equal to one another. And they can't handle that. They cannot handle it. Balls. All right, two more. Great. Nice. Getting closer to the end. White supremacy needs violence. White supremacy needs um, guns in order to maintain that violence, to maintain white minority rule. It's that simple. It's real simple. It's like not rocket science, not brain surgery. And it's like, yeah. That's why they don't want to even concede even the littlest bit of common sense gun reform, because it's literally white supremacy. I think all these lovers now are ugly. I need to like find a way to hide them. I think I just need to like dig down and stick redstone torches inside each one. That's a lot of redstone torches though. Wah, wah, wah. Because that's really ugly, all those levers. La la. Obtain more cobblestone. Don't have any. Oh, that's funny. How can I not have cobblestone? Here, take sugar cane. Take wood. I'll take your cobblestone. That's enough. Yeah, like what other arguments do they have? They don't really have any. I mean, like it all boils down to white supremacy. No, no. Yeah. See, all these levers on the side look ugly. Of course, this tunnel looks ugly. I mean, I can like clean it up, but it's a quick and dirty tunnel. Ah, what? It kicked me off into the wall here. All right, there. Not won't happen again. All right. Let's see. Alrighty then. Hey, nice. Coming along, bit by bit. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, well, if I see ya, I see ya. If I don't, I don't. Um, until next time or not. All right. Peace out. Pogo Kiddo. Bye bye. Out. Stop. Stop.